You know what? I'm gonna need every single character, every single individual from Temptation Island, South Africa to come here, sit down, get your wine, because I'm about to check each and every single one of you. You heard that? Let's go. Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here today, please make sure to smash that subscribe button. And for all my returning subscribers, welcome to another video by your ultimate fave who's ultimately irritated. My time has been wasted. I'm sick. Let me pipe down because I'm gonna need my sanity for this. Okay, I'm just gonna need my sanity. Now, you guys saw me kind of do a TV recap of a show called Temptation Island South Africa. Now, if any of you don't know what Temptation Island South Africa is, it is a show that was basically like a spin-off of Temptation Island USA and Temptation Island UK. So we had a South African version like we've been doing with Love Island. If you guys haven't checked out my first video, please go check that one out because my opinion of everybody has changed. So what I'm gonna do is I watched both episodes, Reunion Part 1 and Reunion Part 2, and to say that my jaw dropped would be an understatement. I was cussing out all the niggas on camera. Do you understand what I'm saying? I was cussing every single nigga out on camera, okay? And the reason I was doing that was because I don't know who upset me more between the men and the women. But I'm going to actively have to say it's the women in this regard. Guys, I really wasn't sure who I was more mad at between the men and the women, but I am convinced now more than ever that it's the women who have generally let me down this time. I was expecting the women this reunion to be about themselves, to choose themselves, and to remember that niggas be capping every single day, bro. But you know what? Let's start with the first couple. That being Nthabiseng and MJ. And I'm glad that we started with that. Let's get all the drama out the way first, because that was actually the reunion I was waiting for, and I'm glad that they made it first. In the reunion with Nthabiseng and MJ, to say that I'm glad they broke up, I am, but not necessarily regarding Nthabiseng. I'm glad that she chose herself. I'm glad that she realized that MJ was a bit of like a, I'ma say it, I'm so sorry. Loser vibes. He was giving me loser vibes. He's a bum, he's a loser, and he's a bum-ass loser. That's what I'm gonna say. So in the reunion, basically what happened between Nthabiseng and MJ, no guys, I'm not gonna show you clips because for copyright strike purposes. So please go watch the reunion if you don't know what's going on. But please don't tell me to put pictures and do this and do this and do this. Guys, I want my monetization, please. But the first thing that I got irritated with when it came to MJ and Nthabiseng's situation is the way MJ was trying to gaslight Nthabiseng. He was like, yeah, I went on and I moved on and I got better and this and this and this. If you got better, then why are you so concerned with making your ex feel like you got better? She doesn't care. She doesn't care. Nobody cares, MJ. I mean, you know what the funny thing is? MJ is so on brand, it shocks me because he did the same thing on Eno's show, The Wanging a Corner. He did the same thing, he pulled the same stunt. It was the same recipe, the same game plan. It was whack. You're whack. I said it with my chest, okay? So he first starts by bulldozing Nthabiseng, by saying, no, yeah, I left her for somebody better, that being Buntle. And personally, their relationship seems a little bit fake to me. I don't know about y'all, but something about that relationship seems very not real, seems very scripted, seems very weird. And no shade. If they are dating, then good for them. But I did go and snoop on their social medias and they only posted each other like once or twice. And that being more from MJ's side. I didn't really see Buntle like being knee deep in the posting of him. And I do want to bet all the chankuras that they're gonna break up if they haven't broken up by the time I release this video, which would be tomorrow. I'ma bet all my money. I'ma bet all my chankuras. So, Ntabi and MJ's their reunion was, I struggled to watch it because MJ was being very disrespectful. He was being uncouth. He was trying to gaslight Ntabi. He was trying to bulldoze her. He was like, no, she called me because my mom died. why are you still talking to your ex if you've got a new girlfriend? Why didn't you talk to Buntle about it? Do you understand what I mean? Then he was like, yeah, she came to my house, and type things like, I came to your house, you invited me to your house, you cheated, you were disloyal, she took out that necklace that she gave to him at the reunion. I'm like, did that necklace fly to MJ's house and then back to Ntabi's hands? I mean, that on its own gave it away that MJ was literally chasing clouds. However, do I believe a little bit of what Buntle said about how everybody was kind of just standing together to gang up on MJ and Buntle? I mean, the possibility was there, but there was too much evidence stacked up against MJ for us to even assume that a bunch of grown-ups would congregate together and make up a lie to make MJ look bad on national TV. They don't even have to go that far. MJ already just looks bad. Like, they didn't even need to try that hard. He's just whack. Like, by the time we even got to reunion, nobody even had to lie on his name because there was nothing worth lying about. I can't stand you, MJ. I genuinely can't stand men who are so gung-ho on gaslighting people that they're no longer with. If you're no longer with her, then leave her the fuck alone. Like, bro, like, she was trying to talk and he was interjecting her, and I was like, okay. Now, the only thing I disliked about Buntle's energy is the chip off her shoulder that she had. Like, look, she was very to her corner. She didn't really say much, but she was responding with a bit of a chip off her shoulder, which was kind of disappointing for me. But I guess at the end of the day, it was Temptation Island. You could either leave with the person you came in with, or you leave with somebody else. And if she says she didn't get that experience from MJ of him being a douche, then that's her prerogative and that's her kind of statement, and that's what she's experienced. That's her experience. However, I just felt like to a certain degree she did invalidate Ntabiseng's feelings. And MJ was lying, saying, yeah, I've got the information, but it's on my old phone. You know why it's on your old phone? Because that phone doesn't exist, because you're a liar. You're a liar. You really are a liar. And like, you're not even the good kind. You're like the embarrassing kind. You're the kind of liar that I just hope for your sake, whoever dates you. You know what? I don't hope anything. Actually, I really have nothing to say when it comes to MJ. Like, I've never in my life been so bored of someone. It's boring. He was trying to disrespect CJ, and then CJ pushed him. Then he was like, oh, I'm just trying to hug. Like, yo, bruh, MJ, oh my God. If this is your idea of climbing the ladder to reality TV, it's giving desperado. It's giving pathetique with a QUE. It's giving. But anyway, I definitely feel like MJ gaslit Ntabiseng on stage. He tried to gaslight everybody who was trying to stick up for her. He tried to gaslight everyone by saying, you know, I think Buntle is the one who said they were all lying and whatever. And with her, I can't confirm or deny because she didn't really say much. So when she did say, it was in relation to what she felt. But with MJ, I could see how he was talking over everyone and obviously trying to shut down the situation with everybody involved. And that's when I realized, oh, you know what? This is a true narcissist. Like, this is a narcissistic human being who definitely thinks he's hot, and I for the life of me, I can't figure out why. Like, who said that? Who said that? So anyway, child. Now, the only thing that disappointed me from Ntabiseng's end is when it came to speaking about MJ and not Uzi, MJ and Brandon. Ntabiseng was a bit of a flip-flop this season. I liked how true she was to her relationship with MJ, but it also irritated me because if you can stand rock and ride so hard for a nigga that's a bum, the least you could have done was just be honest about who you liked more. And it was pretty obvious that it was CJ. So why were you like, I don't know what I'm doing. You were a bit of a flip-flop, Ntabi. I really don't want to say it. Like, you were a bit of a flip-flop, and I expected so much better from you because you're the one who seemingly had the discipline in the house. So why were you flip-flopping? Why? You didn't have to do that. Like, we could all tell you liked CJ, whether or not you're dating that guy that has a piano. Nobody cares. But in that particular moment where you're sitting on stage at the reunion, let's be honest, the person you shared a really like strong connection with was CJ. Why did you keep insisting on hurting him? Okay, just say, okay, CJ, you know what? I try to build something with you. I don't like you like that. Or, you know what, we're taking it easy, one step at a time. So you are taking it a step at a time with CJ. So say that, you know what, guys, after I, you know, kind of had some time to spend with CJ, I've really realized that I want to take it one step at a time, but it's with CJ. You can't say I choose not to choose. Man for la gaga. Hi. Maybe she isn't. What if she's younger than me? I want to know. Sorry, girl, you might be younger than me making all these decisions because you're young, but I still firmly believe that you dead ass were being a little just as shady as MJ. Not as, just a little bit under, because I could see that CJ really liked Ntabseng and Ntabseng wasn't budging. But anyway, that was one relationship. Now let's move to the next one. Justin and Estelle. Just remember the first reunion, the first TV recap, I said that Justin and Estelle were my favorite couple. That quickly died out when I saw Estelle's behavior on the reunion. I was just like, okay. Okay, so in this particular reunion, this is where we were starting to address Jessica, Justin, Estelle, and Angelique. And this is where I started to see that Justin is a typical nigga. Like, as much as I had so much faith and hope in him, he definitely proved to be just the same as the other niggas in the house. Now, the first thing that really ticked me off was how Estelle spoke about Angelique. Now, the thing is, when they came into this kind of temptation island, initially, I thought that Estelle was the one with the issue. Estelle was the one who obviously didn't want to settle, and she said that she's the one who didn't know whether she was coming or going, and Justin knew what he wanted, right? But they went onto the show anyway. Now, coming out of the reunion, this is what irritated me. This is the first thing that put me off about Estelle. They asked Estelle, okay, what's the setup between you and Justin now? What's going on? She's like, no, we're happier than ever. I know that I was the one of the issue, and now I feel different about marriage and good for you. Now, this is where the element of immaturity came in for me. They ask Angelique that, hey, bro, what actually happened between you and Justin? Angelique is like, you know what happened was Justin and I, we kissed after the show, we met up after the show, we linked up after the show, we went to the park, went to lunch, and we did this, and Eve was there. Now, Eve is Fiso's temptation. Eve was there. So Angelique is telling her story, and now they're asking Estelle, do you believe her? Estelle's like, no, she's broken. The fucking no, but the only broken thing here is you and Justin, my sister. The only broken thing here is you and Justin. How dare you? You've got the gall, the bladder, the nerve, the caucasity, Estelle, to come there and say that Angelique is the broken one. You've got to be kidding me. You did it for... Estelle, they asked Justin, did he meet by the park? And he said, I'm choosing not to say anything. You telling me you couldn't see him sweat? The whole of South Africa saw that sweat that was running down Justin's big forehead. It was running here. We all saw how he was sweating, and he was on top of that telling you to calm down and not engage. And you still believe that Justin didn't do that? Look, guys, I'm all for us defending our partners when we know that our partners are trash. But my sister, oh, she's broken. And Estelle kept repeating that, and Eve would be like, stop saying she's broken. She's not broken. And Angelique was like, Justin said he wanted me to be his wife. Justin said he loves me. Justin said he wants to be with me, and he said that shit off camera. Whereas on the show, you could see that Justin was very scared to make a move because it was camera. And now, Estelle, you're sitting here and you have the nerve to call another woman broken. First of all, you're too grown for that. You're grown. And out of everybody, I expected you to be the one to implement that peace and understanding, because you went onto that show, you dragged Justin, you flirted with every nigga in the house, but then you have a nerve to call another woman broken just because you found out that your man is just as low down and shady as you. Embarrass me again, my banner. No, it's embarrassimo. It's giving a little bit of embarrassimo. It's giving desperado and it's giving pathetic. Now, what irritated me, especially about Angelique, is that Estelle was trying to bulldoze her and invalidate what happened between her and Justin. And in that moment in time, I really expected so much emotional intelligence, a high EQ, because she is the one who wanted to find herself. She was supposed to allow Justin to find himself. And if Justin chose to do that off camera, then that's Justin and Angelique's prerogative. But what you're not going to do is blame Angelique when you should actually be blaming Justin. You see, that's where the immaturity part comes in for me. I'm gonna need you to check your mans and stop checking the woman that you could clearly see on the show. He liked her because she was doing all the things that apparently, supposedly, you were not doing. You know what, girl? It's a hard pill to swallow. I get it, Estelle. It's a hard pill to swallow when you realize that your man is falling for a woman who's filling in all your gaps. And I'm not even gonna lie, because Justin made it very clear on the show when he said that you have a tendency of chasing emotionally unavailable men. So you know what he did? He accustomed himself to be emotionally unavailable for you. But then he found a woman who wanted him and him alone and didn't want to jump from one Uzi, Brendan, and he fell for her, and you just don't want to accept that, and you're being a mean girl. Regina George, bruh, fuck. Yeah, Estelle went down in terms of like my brownie points. She moved all the way from like a 9 to a 3.5. That I did not expect from Estelle. That I actually expected from Musa. I actually expected that from Musa, not Estelle. But anyway, ciao. Let's move on to the next couple. Now, this was the couple where, out of all the women in the house, right, guys, I was thoroughly impressed by Precious. Let me say this again. Out of all the women in the house, I was thoroughly impressed by Precious, because Precious bared her heart on the line, and when she saw that this man was disrespecting her on national TV, she packed her bags and she walked away, like Craig David said. Unlike Lona, li defender the nonsenso, li defender banna. Soze. That's the one thing you should never do. And out of everybody, I thought Precious would be the one to do it. And you know what Precious did? Precious literally, she inspired me, man. I was so happy. The things that she said. One, she did not disrespect Nicole when Nicole was talking. She did not disrespect Nicole. She did not disrespect Grant. She didn't do anything, man. She didn't play big. She just said that Grant said, me and Grant went in the house to find ourselves, and as difficult as it was being in a 5-year relationship, we had to do that. And even though it wasn't easy because we were together, we had to do that, because she was referring to the fact that Nicole said, we knew that you guys want to take your girlfriends back. And I don't remember if she left the house alone or she left with Grant, but they had broken up because Grant said on the reunion, yeah, I miss her, what. I was like, now that's how you check a nigga. You walk. You tell him, you know what? She was like, I pay my own bills. I pay my car. I pay my petrol. I do this. You saw Estelle there and Musa were quiet. They're bullies. They were very quiet. Why would you defend someone who outright... And you know what the crazy thing is? I don't know if Nicole and Grant spoke after the show, but I think obviously Grant did say something that led Nicole to say, because she said something like, Grant said, just because I'm picking Precious doesn't mean I'm not picking you. Grant is another narcissist. Like, you know what? You know what? Grant is number 2. No, Grant is number 3 of my least favorite niggas. No. Grant has moved to number 4. He was initially number 2 of this Fiso, but now he's number 4. What irritated me with Grant is that when Grant came into the house, he did admit that he was the biggest flirt of them all. And Grant, if I'm not mistaken, if memory serves me correct, he was actually the first to step out of his relationship. him and Fiso. I don't know who's leading, but I know Grant was one of the first. And Grant mustn't sit there and act like, oh no, it's because I'm a big flirt. No, you wanted Nicole. You wanted Nicole. You saw someone. You were like, you know what, guys, if I can really get this hun. Grant, you can do a lot of things on a public platform, but please don't lie. Let me explain to you guys how I saw this with Grant, okay? I hope I don't get widespread. But how I saw it with Grant is that Grant saw a beautiful woman, and Nicole saw, sorry girl, because you know I'm on your team now. Nicole saw an easy target. Grant saw a beautiful woman. Grant then fell for her, forgot everybody else. Then Nicole checked him. Then he realized, fuck. Then now he was trying to find everybody else, but he wasn't loving anybody the way he loved Nicole. Then when he realized that Nicole was not going to leave with him, he doubled down and went back to Precious. Let's bet. Let me tell you guys something. If Nicole played the game till the very end and showed Grant the love and affection and they became the it couple, I think Grant would have picked Nicole. I think Grant would have picked Nicole. What pissed Grant off, or what put him off, was the fact that Nicole started realizing that she doesn't have the feelings for Grant that she claims she does, which honestly is big of her. I'm gonna have to give a dab for that, because sometimes it's very easy to lie and say you like someone when you know deep down in your spirit that actually and the fact that there's cameras on like in front of you, and there's the fact that there's so many things that are just causing a lot of pressure, and you guys are on a reality TV show, you have to find someone. I can understand why Nicole obviously played something that was in her favor. A lot of men saw her as beautiful and attractive. She could have went for Justin, she could have went for Fiso, she could have even went for MJ if she wanted to, but the easy choice was Grant, because Grant was come check me, boo. I'll drop my location if you think I'm like, well, not Nicole, Grant, I'm talking about Grant. Come check me, boo. Who gonna check me? Who gonna check me, boo? I am right, I've never been wrong. One thing about me, I'm never wrong. Except on like my schoolwork. I started to respect Nicole a lot more. Like everything that I felt about her at the beginning, I realized that, you know what, out of everybody in that house, in the house where the men were, Nicole was one of the realest. Cause the ladies were saying in the confessionals that she didn't like Grant, but she didn't lie in her own confessionals. She didn't lie and say, no, I really like Grant, I don't know why the ladies are doing this to me. She was like, guys, Grant is overwhelming me, and me, I need some space. And if you actually look at the episodes, he was like overwhelming her. He was following her everywhere. You know what, like he was like a toad. And then Grant realized that this woman doesn't like me back. So you know what he did? He went on a fake date with Larato because he knew that he was gonna go back to Precious. And that's why I'm glad that Precious did not take his stank ass back. And I really hope Precious and Dan get together. Just once, girl, just out. Precious, do it once for the culture. Do it once for the culture. Do it once and really even out the playing field. The things that he said about Precious, respect yourself. Not you, my nigga. Not you, my nigga. Especially not you. You're not gonna come onto a national TV and tell Precious to respect herself. What has she been doing this whole time? Huh? You are busy here, you are chasing everyone here in the house, and you have the nerve, the gall to go tell her to respect herself. Men actually make me really sick. So with the Grant and Nicole and Precious, I commend Precious as to how she handled it. She literally chose her dignity, her self-respect over disrespect, something that Estelle and Musa didn't do. And I'm coming to Musa because Ntabi saying and Precious, they picked their self-worth. Lona, Bonghono, calling other women broken because bro, you know what? If I could just have Angelique here on a video, just talk to her, just also to spill the tea. Estelle, Osele. You have no right, you have no place to call anybody broken that you don't know. Please. You're broken. You're broken. You're the one who didn't know what you wanted when you came to the house. If you knew that you loved Justin, why come onto that show? But you have a nerve to call another woman broken. A woman who was led on. You know what, Estelle? Actually, don't bore me. Next, let's talk about the last one that also irked me. It's Fiso. Musa. You know what? I'm really not surprised by Musa's actions, and I'll tell you why. I feel like, and this is just my observation, I could genuinely be so wrong about this take, but I'm gonna do it anyway and see. You guys also comment down below and let me know if you agree with me or disagree with me on this one. Now the one with Musa is very complex, and the first thing I picked up is that Musa was very meek in the reunion. She didn't really say much. She was just like very quiet. She was just like very Once Fiso said something, she didn't contest it. You know, she didn't want to know. She only wanted to know when Dimpo sat down. Now, Eve was the first one to sit down and speak about how she felt like Fiso deprived her, and that one hurt because Eve seemed like she had genuinely good intentions when it came to Fiso. And I'm glad that Fiso even said in one of his confessionals that he didn't want to hurt Eve like that, because from a personal perspective, I saw the same setup with Eve as well. Oh my god, guys, these lights are so hot. One thing about December is that it'll fuck with your mental. My makeup is sweating off, and that time we are literally at, you know what time it is? It's 11 p.m. and my makeup is sweating off. I think it's also just my heat because I'm pissed off about these guys and what they've been doing to these women, and I'm even more pissed off at how these women are just letting these men gaslight them. Well, not the singles, the couples. Not Ntabi and Precious, I'm talking about Estelle and Musa. With Musa, what I feel is that Musa was pretty meek this reunion, and it was very shocking to see because when she walked in, I think Musa's Xhosa and Fiso is Zulu. Fiso was talking about how Musa is like a very strong character. She doesn't, you know, bend over to give him food and things like that. So in my mental, I was like, Musa already gives me very strong character vibes, you know. Not to but like she gives me that one vibe, you understand? So this reunion, to see her switch was so disappointing because I genuinely thought she would see past Fiso's actions. And now, don't get me wrong, I wasn't saying she must wake up and leave Fiso, because I don't know what the love setup is, but I do know that there's a whole lot of power dynamics in that relationship. And if y'all think that I'm being weird, all I'm gonna say is I've dated a man who is exactly like that, who definitely played with my mental, who definitely made me feel like, oh, a man is allowed to test out the waters and do this and do this and do this. I don't remember between the two of them who decided to come onto Love Island. I think it was Fiso, because Fiso is a douchebag. But I think the part where Musa really disappointed me is when Dimpo was sitting down and then they played the clip of where Dimpo was moaning. Obviously, you could tell people are doing something in there. Then after that, Fiso lies and says, no, we weren't doing anything, and I'm like, Musa. And it's like, yeah, I believe him. I'm like, you dead ass believe a nigga who shaded you to Eve. Eve was the one person who literally had a running for your position, okay? She was the one person who had somewhat of a small chance to take Fiso away from you. And Fiso went and shaded you to Eve, shaded you, I don't know to who, on a date where she was like, she doesn't give me food on a tray. He's been shading you each and every single episode. And today, you choose to believe that he wouldn't take the chance where he gets to spend a night with Dimpo. And then you think, what? Do you think production made up those sounds? That, Because even me, I won't even lie to you, I also thought they babsed. And deep down in my spirit, I think they did. I really think Fiso babsed Dimpo. And they're both covering it up as a kiss, because we all know what South Africa or what the media and social media would do to Dimpo if they found out that Dimpo gave bumps to Fiso. And you, I firmly believe, you would congregate on it. You know what really disappoints me about Musa's one in particular is that as someone who dates a man for a long time, bro, you know when your man's is lying, you know when your man's is telling the truth, and you definitely stopped him and paused him to listen to what Dimpo was saying and still had the nerve to say, I don't believe her. So then why'd you listen? And then she's even trying to find loopholes. She's like, yeah, but then why didn't they show the part where you guys are running in? Why? Why? You heard the sound. She's telling you something. Just because. Why would she make it up? Okay. Musa, the same way in which you say it's between her and God. And I'm gonna need you to stop using God, hey? I'm really gonna need you guys to stop finding every single situation to put God in and say, if you did it, it's between you and God. He did it, they did it, they did it, they about it, and you still trying to make her look like the villain. You know who the villain is? The man who's sitting next to you. The man who week in, week out kept trying to find every other woman to pick over you. Do you understand that? That's a man who don't give a shit about you. That's a man who low down, dirty, embarrassed you on television. And you're sitting and you're trying to villainize a young girl. Why would she lie to you? What reason does she have? The only people who impressed me this reunion, Ntabiseng and Precious. But Ntabiseng also, I said that there was only one thing I didn't like about it, but everything else I was totally happy with. She picked herself, she chose herself. Musa, this time I was just like, I don't know if it's maybe her suffering from a low self-esteem and accepting the fact that her man will do these things for her and she will ride for him and whatever, because I am telling you now with no shadow of doubt that I don't believe that Fiso would do the same for you if you even remotely acted just 50% as bad as he did. I don't even think he would stay with you. Zulu men are literally 101 textbook narcissists. They are 101 textbook control, power dynamics. Everybody knows that, especially you, Musa. And you still chose to say, you could have just kept quiet. You know, keeping quiet, I would have had more respect for you if you kept quiet. You chose to go onto a show where you saw what your man was doing week in, week out, bonfire. And you still want to villainize another woman for the actions that, first of all, she didn't owe you any loyalty. Dimpo didn't owe you shit. Fiso did. And Fiso lied to you. And I'm convinced he lied to you. And you're sitting here trying to make everybody believe that he would tell you the truth. You know what? I'm mad at Fiso because he's just, I genuinely feel like that's douchebag like tendencies. But I'm more mad at you. I'm more mad at you, Musa. I'm more mad at you for villainizing another woman. That woman didn't go in there and ask Fiso to touch her and kiss her. That woman didn't go in there and ask Fiso to pick her as a date. He could have picked anybody else. He picked Dimpo. You know why he picked Dimpo? He even said, because I would never do that to a girl like Eve. To even show you that he had feelings for Eve. And you're still sitting here and you're thinking that Fiso's the innocent one. You've got a problem, my sister. Emotionally, no. From a reunion perspective, Estelle, Musa, guys, go for counseling, go for anything. Just go somewhere, just go. Like, and leave other people out of your shady mess. Like, I get it, we defend our partners, I get it, we ride for our partners, but that was low down dirty from the both of you. You guys, and you guys are too old for what you're doing. Yeah, come, better. You're old for what you're doing. Think, for once, use these things, just vuga. I was like, never in my life have I seen such grown-ups being so delusional. Like, I was like, it's the delusion for me, child. Guys, that is it. That has been the most frustrating reunion to ever do. Like, that has been the most frustrating TV recap to ever do, because for the first time in a long time, I watched it with so much anxiety. But I have to give it to them. Temptation Island South Africa was a really, really great season. I think the people that they picked were really great for this role. I really wish Gigi has stayed longer on the show, but I do feel like she wasn't really given a platform to showcase herself. Some of the men were really very like picky and stuff, but overall, I really did like the show. I thought that it went really great. I thought that the reunion exposed those who hid behind, you know, scriptures and being good and being whatever. Like, for example, Justin, the layers were slowly peeled off. I just wish more people came with evidence and receipts. I wish that from where they were like, Dimpo was moaning, like if it was Andy from Bravo TV, Andy would have said, no. We do have production. And you definitely were in the bathrooms, Fiso. But I felt like Fat Joe didn't really, maybe it wasn't his place, but I felt like Fat Joe didn't really expose people for what they were really doing. Maybe that wasn't his place, but it really should have been done. I think Andy would have done a really better job at this, or maybe Moshe or something. But Fat Joe tried, you know, he gave it his all. But anyway, guys, that is it. That is my TV recap of Temptation Island South Africa, the reunion part 1 and part 2. I hope you guys enjoyed my little bit of a rant, but until then, I will see you guys in my next Vlogmas. I love you guys so much. Make sure to subscribe, like, and comment. Let me know what you thought down in the comments, but until then, I will see you guys in my next video.